Hello. Hello. Once again, my name is Judith Kamboka, and in this video, I am going to take you through direct procurement. When do you use direct procurement as a method of procurement? I am your convener for the study challenge of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015 with the revisions of 2022. So when can you use direct procurement as a method of procurement? Under Section 103 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015, Section 103, you have been given conditions under which you can use direct procurement as long as you are not avoiding competition. If you are avoiding using this method to avoid competition, then you will be accused of misprocurement. So what are some of the conditions under which you can opt to buy directly from one supplier or from one contractor? Condition number one, where the goods, works, or services are available from only one particular supplier or one contractor has exclusive rights to sell that which you are intending to buy. So remember, when you're using this method, you must create a justification, and your justification will be based on the reasons. So this can be one of the justifications. So you're not just going to say that there's no any other supplier. You must have tangible evidence to cite that this is the only supplier for this service, goods, or name it, or they're the only ones who have exclusive rights to sell it, say, within our country. Scenario number two, where you can use direct procurement, is if there is war, there is invasion, there is a natural disaster, and you don't have time to carry out other procurement procedures. Scenario number three, it's related to scenario number two. There's a catastrophic event, and there's an urgent need to get either some goods or services, and it is impractical to use any other procurement method. Then scenario number four is where the procurement entity has initially bought some goods or obtained some services from one particular supplier, and now they want to go for additional ones. And in order to attain standardization, because if you buy from another person, you're likely to get something of a different quality. So in order to standardize, you might opt to go back to the same supplier so as to maintain the standardization. In another scenario is when you are acquiring goods, works, or services provided by a public entity. Then in such a scenario, you can proceed to obtain the goods through direct procurement. So under Regulation 19 has given us more details on how to use this method. Under Section 104 of the Act, we've been given the procedure of direct procurement. So a requisition must be raised, and it must be approved by the accounting officer. And remember, by the time this requisition is being raised, unless it's an emergency, it ought to have been in the procurement plan. So, but unless in scenarios which I have cited that it is an emergency, there's an urgent need there, then it's different. So you issue a tender document, which shall be the basis of tender preparation by the tenderer and subsequent negotiations. So you issue it to the person you're targeting. Sorry, before we get there, so a requisition is raised, and in that requisition, there must be a justification, a reason as to why you have opted to use direct procurement. So once the the requisition is approved, then now you proceed to issue the tender document to whosoever you had wanted to give it to. Then you appoint an evaluation committee. Let even before you get to the evaluation committee, let there be an opening committee who will receive this proposal just as guided in the act. Then an ad hoc evaluation committee goes ahead to evaluate this tender document, whether it has met your need. It doesn't mean that the fact that they were the only ones who were given the tender document that they are winning the tender. No, you might find that in as much as you invited them alone, they still don't meet your needs. So an evaluation must be conducted and an award be done in the formal way as guided by the act. So, and in this case, negotiations are acceptable and an award is done as per the requirements of the act. But I will request that you go to Regulation 90, then you study more on the how it is done in the regulations. So thank you very much. That's all about direct procurement.